In just 2 weeks, two weeks, we get The Last of Us TV series. Who's excited for that, huh? I hope I get some content out of this. I am not excited. I don't know why they're doing this. The first game is pretty much all you need for a series. Like, actually, the game itself, just go buy the game and play it. I know it's on PlayStation, but I'm pretty sure it's been ported over to PC. Somebody in the comments will clarify that for me. So why do we need this? I mean, Last of Us 2 basically is a disaster, so why do we need a series? Well, money. Neil Druckmann wants to ramp up production because he has made comments of, there's more story to tell here. There's more story to tell here. I want to do a number 3, even though it doesn't end on a cliffhanger. Yeah, Neil Druckmann just wants to recreate praise around his series, even though it's already changed. But we got this. HBO's The Last of Us creator reveals how the show won't become a perpetual motion machine and adapt only the source material from the games. Well, sticking true to the source material. I want you to remember that. I want you to remember this bit, source material. As we get down into this, in an interview with The Hollywood Reporter, the show creators Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin discussed not dragging The Last of Us series adaptation on longer than the source material, likening it to like HBO's previous blunder with George R.R. Martin's Game of Thrones. Well, we all know Game of Thrones was a disaster. We all know that continued on well past where George ever planned it. Well, I mean, we're not going to do that. We're going to be better than Game of Thrones. We're going to create something better and more accurate to the source material. We have no plans to tell any stories beyond adapting the games, Druckmann said. We won't run into the same issues as Game of Thrones since Part 2 doesn't end on a cliffhanger. Or he's showing that they do plan to do Part 2. They do plan to eventually get into Part 2, but how did Part 2 go for you, Neil? How did any of that go for you? And again, remember, adapting only the source material as we get into some of our next little bits. Mazin added that he has no interest in turning The Last of Us into a perpetual motion machine with the same plot changing locations to survive the zombie outbreak every season. I don't have an interest in a spinning plates go on forever show, he said. Endings mean everything to me. Oh yeah, they should. I mean, an ending can make or break your show. You only have your beginning and your ending are all that really matter. Well, the middle part's also important, but your ending can break a show entirely. Game of Thrones, for example. Good example. There's plenty of better examples than Game of Thrones, but your ending can completely destroy your story and any love it has. So that's a good point, you know? Endings mean everything to you. Oh, that's good. How did The Last of Us Part 2 end? How did The Last of Us Part 2 begin? How did people react to The Last of Us Part 2? Coming back up here. Adapt only the source material from the games. Only the source material from the games. Well, that's where we're getting into. Despite The Last of Us series allegedly hewing close to the original source, the HBO show will feature content that didn't make it into the video games. That's their justification for everything. That will be their justification. Feature content that didn't make it in. Oh, this is hidden content. This is content that wasn't originally there. Ooh, this is content that we didn't put in the first game, but it makes the second game feel a whole lot more canonical and make a whole lot more sense. And, you know, actually you do grow to enjoy the fact that Abby does what she does to Joel. This is that line. This is the key line. Druckmann revealed that the never-before-seen material would include the enrichment of several characters. Furthermore, Mazin added that particular surprises throughout viewers watching those that just feels viewers watching would blow their minds if they played the Last of Us game catalog. It's unclear how much fresh content will appear in the upcoming series, considering each episode of The Last of Us clocks in at around 90 minutes. Wow. Ignore my whole surprise view. It's the people that have played the video games and are going to watch this. So, guys, we're staying close to the source material. We're sticking really close to the source material, but we're adding some things that weren't in the first game that will enrich it and also make the whole two games look even better. We're going to make these games look even better because we're going to make the story look good. We're going to do our thing to, make it make sense that Abby ends up caving the head in of Joel. We're going to make sense that Abby kills off the main character with a golf club. A character that everybody grew to love. We're going to make that make sense. We're going to make it make sense, We're going to do that. Because with content that wasn't in the original. But with content that didn't make it in. Yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to do all that. Man. Whew. Wow, it sounds like you're really sticking to the source material, huh? Sounds like you're really sticking to the source material because we know the source material. Heck, I still don't even know why this show needs to be made when the video games themselves are basically perfect. Well, the first one was basically perfect. It was the video game. It was the story itself. It was the cinematic gaming. It was a game that people really loved, really enjoyed, a story that everybody connected with. People loved Joel, and what do you do with it, Neil Druckmann? What do you do? We get Big Abby Pump. We get Big Abby Pump picking up a golf club and just right into Joel's head. But, feature content that didn't make it into the video games that will enrich it and blow their minds. For the people that have played the whole game catalog, who have played both games, that this will make everything make sense. Oh, and by the way, just a little information. On December 14th, a recent leak suggested Naughty Dog may be working on a third mainline installment in the Last of Us franchise. We already know that. We know that they've been wanting to do that. We know Neil Druckmann has been wanting to make a third one, but numbers. Best-selling game on the first week. How did the rest of those weeks go? How did those go? Numbers. I don't know how this show's gonna do. I find it laughable that they're already comparing themselves to Game of Thrones, saying we're not going to pull a Game of Thrones. We're sticking closely to the source material. And I mean, part 2's already wrapped up, even though I might want to do a part 3. And I mean, we're sticking close to the source material, but we're also featuring content that wasn't in the original game. We're also doing that. We're also going to explain why Joel's Latin and his daughter is black in this and not in the game. So we're sticking close to the source material. Don't worry. We're sticking close to the source material. Oh, we've also changed Joel a little bit. He's more battle torn. He's not this action packed hero, but we're sticking close to the source material. We're sticking close to the source material. Oh, we're also changing up this person and this person and that person. Sticking to the source material. Sticking to that source material. Man. Sticking to that source material. Featuring content that didn't make it into the video games. Sticking to that source material. How many times do you want me to say it? By the way, not only am I watching Velma and doing reviews of that, I'm going to do reviews of this show. I'm going to sit down every Sunday at the 15th, and I'll watch it. I'll come on here. Don't know if I'll do a live. Don't know what I'll do. I might talk to Jed, Hollywood Scholar. See, maybe he wants to do something quick, real quick with it every night. Or maybe I'll just put out a video and then do a recap with Jed. I'll see what I do. But I'm going to watch this show because I do like The Last of Us first story. I do like the first game. I like that story. I've never played it, but I've at least watched it because that's the kind of story it is. It's a story that you can just watch the gameplay. You know the story. It's a very impactful story, but they're already planning on changing it all. They're already planning on doing something completely different. And I'm going to watch it. I'll give it credit where credit's due, and I'm going to criticize it where criticism's due. But, you know, another thing, according to the showrunner, and I did a video on that, video game deaths don't mean as much as movie deaths. Man, these people really love this source material, huh? With that being said, guys, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, share it out with your friends, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.